Alright, everybody, hello and welcome to Table Talk Thursday, episode 58. I'm your host, Dr. Bowden_1, also known as David, and my co-host over here.
Reigning Death 999, also known as Kenneth. Thank you for joining us this evening as we present you the news.
Yes. Alrighty, I guess we'll go ahead and take it from the top. Alright. Yes, good old North Korea. This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is bad. Anyway. Wow, my cat's all the way at the top of one of my cupboards, like a weirdo. Anyway. North Korea cancels high-level talks with South Korea. North Korea canceled high-level talks with South Korea on Wednesday and threatened to walk away from a historic summit with President Donald Trump to protest ongoing military exercises involving the U.S. The surprise move came just hours before a planned North-South meeting at a border village. The North said it was angry about a large military exercise called Max Thunder. Oh, that name, though. That's currently being staged by Washington and Seoul in South Korea. KCNA called the drills an undisguised challenge and a deliberate military provocation against the apparent strides toward peace. It's, maybe, honestly, don't doubt that, but whatever.
Well, I mean, they've been doing these military exercises for decades. Pretty much since the arms agreement was signed, they've been doing military exercises, basically as a show force.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's been kind of a, heaping dick measuring contest between North Korea and then us, the whole time. Like, North Korea would do missile tests, and then we're like, let's do this military exercise where you fucking drop, thousands of pounds worth of artillery on a fucking field.
Yeah, but also, I think the North Korea is just looking for an excuse because,
that too.
I mean, they've been doing these exercises for years, decades even, and they're in the middle of peace negotiations. I mean, everybody just needs to fucking put their dicks away.
This isn't dicks out for Harambe up in here. This is definitely a mess. Anyway, my cat is just going to town and fucking around with shit. If the Trump administration only pushes us into a corner and forces us to give up our nuclear weapons unilaterally, then we will no longer take interest in such a talk and would have to reconsider. Kim Kai-kwan, North Korea's first vice minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said, during a brief exchange with reporters at the White House Wednesday, Trump offered no insights into the broader meaning of the cancellation, or whether Kim might be bluffing. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert told reporters on Tuesday afternoon that the United States would continue to go ahead and plan the meeting between Trump and Kim.
Yes, because even though these meetings are falling through here in Seoul, they can still continue for the big Singapore meeting happening this year in June, I believe.
I think so. We covered that story last week. Right?
Yeah. Yes. So hopefully that meeting in Seoul does go through, but definitely I do believe that North Korea will not give up all their nuclear weapons, because we have our Secretary of State, who is now former CAA director, now Secretary of State. We have the National Security Advisor, who is an extreme war hawk,
yes.
John Bolton.
We also have Mattis. Mattis is a war hawk as well.
Yeah, but Bolton's worse.
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, I mean, he is basically... He's just like, we don't negotiate with North Korea, don't negotiate with terrorists, we want everything.
We don't
want just the nuclear weapons, we just don't want just their nuclear material. He's like, we want all of their missiles, we want everything.
We want their lives.
And then now Trump's talking about how if North Korea doesn't abide, he's going to do another Gaddafi plan.
I forgot what happened to Gaddafi. Isn't that something where we tried to assassinate him?
Well, it was the Arab Spring.
I'm unfamiliar.
It was a major piece of world history, but okay.
Yep.
Basically, the Arab Spring was a bunch of uprisings of the citizenry of North African nations to overthrow their dictatorships. which may or may not be about the CIA, but that's just speculation on my part.
It probably was. Everything that's happened has been sponsored by the CIA.
But realistically, it shouldn't be. It's not that difficult to stir up troublemakers in a country that's extremely economically depressed and people desperate for hope.
Nope.
But we also, part of this, we also got Gaddafi to agree to get rid of a lot of his more powerful weapons, and he was still taken out quite quickly. So Kim Jong-un is going to see all of this, the Iran, the Gaddafi, I mean, with how Trump's talking. It's just not going to be, he's not going to be amenable to U.S. deals.
No,
because
especially when they're one-sided.
Yes. Speaking of one-sided deals and U.S. fucking up...
This is the worst deal in the U.S. history. Yeah, what?
So the EU is actually willing to block U.S. sanctions against EU nations.
Wait, why are we sanctioning EU nations?
Oh, well, EU companies. Because as we covered last week, these companies are doing business with Iran.
Oh.
And, if the U.S. sanctions them, well, it's more pressing that they lose the American market versus if they just lose Iran. But if they back out, then that means Iran will probably back out of the deal. Because this has been one of the most prosperous years and a half for Iranian economy in a very long time. It's kind of sad, giving the people and the economy just a taste of, freedom and such, and then just taking it all away.
Just didn't come out. Jesus.
But anyways, as I said, the EU is prepared to use legislation that would make it illegal for European companies to comply with U.S. nuclear-related sanctions targeting Iran.
Wait. It's illegal for them to comply? What?
They do have a law on the books.
So they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, because the law actually puts in compensation for losses of the sanctions.
Oh, okay. So it's like a law that actually protects the people that it's kind of semi-fucking over. Oh man.
Well, it's Europe.
I wish America had laws like that.
I wish America had consumer protection.
Or even, well, they have company protection, which is what that is, but still, reasonable company protection that's not just fucking people over.
Yep. But yes, as you're saying, options are fairly limited because European companies would be exposed to the U.S. sanctions if they did business in Iran. And as a quote here says, we've notably discussed concrete practical solutions to make sure the EU can continue to live up to its commitments under the deal and protect our economic operations.
That is a mouthful.
Yes. But, I mean, you get the gist of what they're saying. We need to, keep the deal alive because it's for fucking world peace and security.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, we're finally seeing the North Korea becoming the actual best Korea. Not really, but we're finally seeing North Korea pull its head out of its ass.
Yeah.
Good for the world. Maybe it's like, oh, it was all elaborate ruse. We want to kill your president. Meanwhile, everybody.
Well, they don't have a nuclear facility to test their nuclear weapons anymore.
And that's never stopped them before. I don't think.
Well, that's the place that was destroyed was the place that they used to test all of their nuclear weapons.
I mean, it's not like they care about the lives of their constituents anyway. They can make something happen.
Yeah, probably.
It's like you're talking about a dictatorship here that's already crumbling, infrastructure, economic, foodstuffs, everything. Why would they care if they kill some more people with explosions?
But anyways, the blocking statute was devised in 1996 to counter U.S. sanctions on Cuba, Iran, and Libya, but it remains untested. It would impose legal penalties on EU companies complying with the US sanctions on Iran, while providing compensation for any costs and losses they suffer. I mean, I don't know if the EU has the tens of billions of dollars that collective companies would probably be out.
I don't think so, especially since they're losing good old UK.
Yeah, but the money comes from Germany.
Does it? I mean, a large portion of money came from the UK.
Yeah, but it's mainly been between like Germany, France.
Didn't Germany, France, both of those countries have problems? They had to be bailed out by the EU, I thought, like within the last 5 years.
No, those countries bail out the other countries.
I know Greece is
They are
in like a
they are
crawling
the
economy.
bank. Germany especially is the bank.
Good thing I'm going to Germany. See you in Germany, trooper. Yeah, I saw him bring that up, by the way, today, where he thought you were gonna go, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely gonna go because I have a German wife to go see. But you have nothing to go for.
I mean, I can go see the city of Hanover.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Okay, I think he's just walked away.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I forget that I can't speak and walk away at the same time because I'm wearing my wireless headset and using the wireless capability, but the microphone's on the table. And I keep forgetting that. I'm so used to just walking around and talking at the same time.
Yep. He has a new setup on his side. Oops. But yeah, so we'll see what the EU does. It'd definitely be interesting to see them implement this statute, because again, it's untested, so who knows how it'll actually work or go into effect or who will be affected. There is a lot of unknowns in this, but one thing that must be preserved is the Iran deal. It is the only deal that we have to preserve peace in the Middle East. At least where Iran is concerned.
It's a joke! I don't know if you heard me say that it's a joke far away.
Yes.
I did that for dramatic effect. I love how the green screen glitched out when I sat down, but it's all good now. I needed to grab a charger for my phone, but phone's good.
Oh, it did all break.
Yeah, no, right? Probably because of something Koreans. I don't know.
Dark side.
Yes.
You look extremely pale.
Do I? It's
Yeah, this lighting.
It's work, man. Work's killing me already. I just got there and I'm already dying. I don't know if any of the guys are here, but they'll tell you.
Apparently so, good shit.
I mean,
You need to get some more sun.
Fuck that, dude. Me and Sun don't get along. Like, that's just not how that works, man. Also,
A little thing called daylight.
it's actually not that bad. I mean, I guess I look super white. Part of the reason why I look super pale is because I'm getting whited out by the screen. Like, look, see how my hand gets brighter?
Like, you look like albino.
I'm not. I don't look that bad. I don't see myself as that bad.
I mean, I'm looking at.
I mean, you look fucking pale as shit compared to me right now too.
Well, that's because I also have extremely bright.
I've got
bright white lights
3 lights above
shining
me, shining down.
I've got 4 lights.
Shine bright like a diamond. Anyway. Whatever.
Anyways.
Alright, see it.
Go for Trudeau.
No, appalled. Trudeau calls for investigation of shooting of Canadian doctor during Gaza protest. Justin Trudeau added... What?
I'm going to interject here. So for those who haven't heard, yesterday the United States has officially opened up our embassy in Jerusalem. It's a great day for Canada. It's a great day for the world. I'm just kidding. It is a terrible day because we fucking keep stepping in it. And it's all Trump's fault, truly.
Obviously.
But
I said obviously.
Yes. So, because basically, as a part of the 1967 agreement between Palestine and Israel, it was basically universally agreed in that agreement. Jerusalem, because both nations claim Jerusalem as their capital, and basically in the agreement it says no nation shall really make any particular statement one way or the other. It'll be handled later when a final deal is eventually ever made. And we decided to say, fuck that shit. We're going to upend decades of, policy and political will, and fucking say, hey, it's the embassy now because Trump.
Come here.
But yes, yesterday the embassy officially opened with mass riots.
Nice. Anyway, so Justin Trudeau added his voice Wednesday to the calls for an independent investigation into the shootings by Israeli soldiers on the Gaza border that killed 59 Palestinians and wounded hundreds more during Monday's mass protest. The Prime Minister...
They weren't using just rubber bullets or something. No, they were using live ammo.
I mean, when you're trying to kill somebody, you don't use not real bullets. You don't use Nerf. This isn't a video game where, your favorite gun all of a sudden becomes sponsored by Nerf and then you, fucking tickle people. This is, real murder weapons. This is good shit. This is whenever your guns get buffed. Anyway, so the Prime Minister said he was appalled by the shooting of a Canadian doctor who was trying to help wounded protesters in Gaza on Monday. We are appalled that Dr. Tarek Lubani, a Canadian citizen, is among the wounded, along with so many unarmed people, including civilians, members of the media, first responders, and children. Not the children! Lubani, an emergency...
Somebody think of the children!
An emergency physician at Ontario's London Health Sciences Centre. That's kind of semi-oxymoron, I don't know. Ontario's London Health... What? Huh? Anyway, and a Shifa hospital in Gaza says he was shot in both legs. Wow. Monday, even though his team wore high visibility jackets.
That sniper took time, because they were saying, they practically went through that man's kneecaps. That sniper waited for that shot to line up, because he went through both his legs, at a diagonal angle. So that sniper was waiting for that shot.
Either that or the guy was just standing still. So, but
possibly also, but also he was, like they said, wearing high visibility orange jackets.
What I'm hearing is a walking target. Gotcha.
But it's generally known that they're medical staff.
Walking targets. Yeah, gotcha. Anyway, Lubani is emergency physician. I said that they were wearing high visibility jackets that identified them as medical staff. Which I was just saying. Germany, Belgium, and Ireland, and several UN Security Council members have also called for an investigation into Monday's carnage. But the Council has taken no action because the United States.
And again, this just goes into the ineffectiveness of the UN Security Council and how useless it is.
A permanent member, which is the U.S., says Israel acted with restraint.
Yes, because killing 60, wounding hundreds, and injuring thousands is restraint. That's what we call restraint in America.
I mean, have you seen our mass shootings? Hey-oh, zing. Anyway, since March 30th, more than 100 Palestinians have been killed, including 13 children, and 2,500 injured in protest at the border fence. Quinavine Boutin, UNICEF's special representative, said, "At this point, the United Nations has been clear. Many journalists have observed this. They're largely unarmed, and they're quite far away from the soldiers. So for us, they're all child deaths that should have been avoided." It's kind of a weird saying, and
because basically they were saying how the children were quite far away from the protest.
Mm-hmm.
But they were there, but they were really far away, and they're fucking children.
They were children. Now they're dead bodies.
Yeah, the fact that the IDF just has taken it upon itself to quell a protest using live ammunition, injuring, killing children, well, Israel is not making friends for itself. If the United States wasn't its pretty much, at this point, sole major ally, I don't think there would be an Israel.
Yeah, good.
Anyways, I love this next story. The EU president tears into Donald Trump.
The EU has a president?
Yes.
I kind of was unaware of that.
Yeah, there's two important people. There's Donald Tusk as the president, and there's Jean-Claude von Juncker, who's, I forget, but he's highly important. But anyways, the president of the European Council has torn into Donald Trump, warning that the United States is a bad friend who acts with capricious assertiveness.
The accuracy is pretty good. I have to give it to him.
I just love everything about this. Speaking on Wednesday, Donald Tusk said he was grateful for Mr. Trump because he had, and I quote, made us realize that if you need a helping hand, you'll find one at the end of your arm. Oh, damn.
That's pretty funny, too.
The EU leader told reporters at the summit in the Bulgarian capital, Sofia, that Europe had to be prepared to go it alone in some circumstances because of the new shift in American politics has made the US an unreliable ally. Not surprising that they would say that. It is quite true and accurate, and sad to see that this is the end of the era of American leadership and exceptionalism. Surely, it is an end. I can't believe it, but Trump has killed what so many of his predecessors couldn't do. He's that bad.
What did he kill exactly?
Yeah, American power and diplomacy in the world. I mean, with the devastation in the State Department and with his just doing whatever the fuck he wants in clear violation of international treaties and agreements by his own predecessors.
Trump is literally the embodiment of what other countries see as Americans, to be honest.
That is unfortunate.
But it is accurate, is it not?
Probably somewhat, yeah. But I mean, it's devastating because this will destroy United States diplomatic power for decades.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Mr. Tusk said he wanted Europe to stick to our guns against Mr. Trump's new policies.
What? Hold on. Europe has guns? They don't have guns. This has already been invalidated. Your statement's wrong.
I mean, if the EU actually took all of its member nations' armies together, they'd have the most powerful military in the world.
Is that true? I feel like that's not true.
That is actually true. By spending and by total count.
But they wouldn't do it because, there's so many of them that don't have the balls. They don't have the testicular fortitude to rise against the
like I've been talking about,
red, white, and blue state.
A lot of these episodes that the EU wants to become the United States of Europe.
That's what the EU was, I think, originally founded for, to be honest.
Yeah, people say what it was founded for. So yeah, we'll see how that works out.
But Europe already failed to do that. They've been the EU for many years. They should have been able to do something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only been 30 years.
But realistically, all they did was meet at tables and probably yell at each other most of the time.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, as far as nations go, that's a relatively short amount of time.
I suppose. Yeah, but America's
like if it's been 100 years and they haven't done anything, then sure, there's room to talk.
You mean like America, where we've been around for many years?
Yeah, but I mean, America's young on the country age scale.
Yeah, but we are some of the largest landmass, and we have many, states within the state. So
yes,
and we've stuck together, kind of. Except for that one time.
Little civil war.
Except for that one time there was a civil war.
Yeah.
But other than that, at least we resolved our civil war brutally, bloody, massacre-ish, and then we got back together. Everything was okay. Think about the Middle East. All of those people have been at war for way longer than we've ever been at war.
Yeah, but their war is religious reasons, and religion can fucking stick around through nearly anything.
I mean, I guess. Well, our war was it was ideals. It was
Our war was racism.
It was over ideals, yeah.
Anyways.
Which is what religions are, too.
So Mr. Tusk said that he branded a U.S. move to use national security grounds to justify protectionism as absurd and not based in reality.
Welcome to the U.S.
Almost like our president.
National security.
Yeah, freedom.
Burden.
But looking, and he said, quote here, looking at the latest decisions of President Trump, someone could even think, with friends like that, who needs enemies? But frankly speaking, Europe should be grateful for the president, because thanks to him, we've got rid of all our illusions. The EU has taken a tough theoretical line against the United States in response to Mr. Trump's threatening to impose retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods such as Levi pants, Harley-Davidson motorbikes, and bourbon whiskey.
I still love the random things. Who the fuck buys Harley Davidsons like millions of miles away? On a real note,
they're popular. And bourbon's
a bit different deal because it's alcohol. That's different. Everybody loves alcohol, man.
I believe it can only be produced in Kentucky.
No, I don't think bourbon can only be produced in Kentucky.
I'm not entirely sure because things like bourbon, because it's not just whiskey, it's bourbon whiskey, which is particular. Because they could have just said whiskey, but no, it's bourbon whiskey, which normally denotes a certain class, like champagne.
American whiskey,
real champagne,
barrel aged, made primarily from corn.
Yeah, but it's bourbon.
The term bourbon is whiskey has been traced in while bourbon may be made anywhere in the United States, it is strongly associated with the American South and with Kentucky in particular. As of 2014, the distiller's wholesale market revenue for bourbon sold in the United States is about $2.7 billion, and bourbon makes up about 2/3 of the $1.6 billion of U.S. exports of distilled spirits. So that's why.
Wow.
So literally two-thirds of our shit is fucking bourbon.
God, the world loves bourbon whiskey, apparently.
Well, does Jack Daniels count as a bourbon whiskey as well? I think so. Bourbon is anything that's made with corn and barrel aged, is what it said. It's basically the deal.
Okay, so that's most.
Yeah, a barrel aged distilled spirit made primarily from corn. So yeah, most stuff counts as bourbon. Most whiskey probably counts as bourbon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good to know that it's going to hit a devastating market.
I love how it's like it can be made anywhere in the U.S., but for some reason it's strongly associated with Kentucky. Probably because Jack Daniels and like all the big name ones come out of Kentucky. That's probably why.
Yeah. Eventually, it's going to only be able to be made in Kentucky.
Nah, it's not going to go fucking Moscato d'Asti status.
Well, that's not unusual. I mean, tons of foods and drinks around the world for decades, and even centuries, have had that kind of standard. I mean, champagne is one of the oldest and most known examples, can only be produced in Champagne, France.
I was unaware that was where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's because apparently the soil there gives the grapes particular taste and acidity. Anyways, and I love the final line here. The U.S. president, for his part, said that trade wars are good and easy to win, and he characterized EU trade policies as very unfair on the U.S. because, of course, all policies that aren't in the entire benefit of the United States are unfair. So that's how that works, apparently, according to Trump.
That sounds like a narcissist cuckbag, exactly. Anyway, all right. So moving on to US News, also known as U.S. News of the United States. Countless lives were saved. Officer hailed for confronting gunmen at Dixon High School in Illinois. Is this recent, or is this the original one where a school?
No, this is recent.
Okay, so now this one's coming out. There was another one where an officer did the same thing. Why is this one big? What?
No, last one was big too. This one just literally happened yesterday, though.
Okay, whatever. I guess I'll fucking try to get
Let me know when you're starting the video.
Set up and rolling the video. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and switch to studio mode and make sure the video comes across correctly. Well, that one's just Kenneth. We don't want just Kenneth. That one's just me. That one's... What? Where in the fuck? Do we not have a fucking video player anymore? Is that the deal here? What is that? Oh, that's on Mixer. Okay, I figured it out. I got it. We fucking fixed this. There we go. Now it's the right thing. Alright, cool. Now we're fading into the proper video. So, alright.
Okay.
There we go.
When you started.
I'm going to start now. Or it's going to load.
But we begin here tonight with what could have been another school massacre, if not for the heroic actions of a police officer. It happened in Illinois at a high school whose alumni include President Ronald Reagan. Adriana
Oh,
Diaz
wow.
is there.
Ronald Reagan.
Shots fired at Dixon High School. Shots fired at Dixon High School.
Shots fired.
Just
shots
after
fired.
8 a.m., shots rang out at Dixon High School near the gym where the senior class was for graduation rehearsal.
Ooh.
It was a chaos. It was complete chaos. I wasn't really looking behind me. I just took off running.
Took off running.
and
Fuck it.
There were people pushing and shoving, screaming, trying to get out.
Police say the shooter was a 19-year-old former student. The school resource officer, identified as Mark Dallas, ran toward the shooter
This is a
outside the
brave
gym.
man right here.
With shots ringing out through the hallways of the school, he charged toward the suspect and confronted him head on. Because of his heroic actions, countless lives were saved. We are forever indebted to him for his service and his bravery.
Officer Dallas chased the suspect outside. Officials are hailing him as a hero who may have prevented yet another mass shooting.
See, this
While
here, this
pursuing
man,
the suspect
American
shot several
hero.
rounds towards the officer, at which time the officer returned fire and struck the suspect.
Sources say the suspect is Matt Milby, who's in custody with non-life-threatening injuries. After the school was put on lockdown, all students were reunited with their parents. Milby's mother says her son was ostracized at school after getting in trouble for drugs.
Not at all. There's no justification for what he's done, and he will take full responsibility for that.
Interesting.
All right, Adriana.
trouble for drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that kid doesn't really look like the school shooter type, to be honest. He looks like
Doesn't he?
no, he doesn't. Not to me.
19-year-old white kid.
No, that doesn't denote a school shooter.
That's pretty much the MO right now for most of the school shooters.
I guess I don't know. My cat just came out in my lap. I just realized that. I kind of like petting her instinctively. Weird. Anyway. Alright, cool. I guess. Whatever. That's that. Alright.
Yes, but this man should get a commendation and I don't know, a raise. Give that man a raise.
I mean, the school cops in our district made more than the regular cops. That was kind of funny.
Yes, and as we continue to say about school shooters, this person was apparently also bullied and beaten up at school. So, note to all you kids out there, all you bullies, the kids you bully will probably come and shoot you.
Yeah, and then your bullies make jokes about that stuff, but shit's real, man.
I don't know. We're seeing a lot of it happen this year and between this year and the last.
I mean, it's been the thing is this stuff's been going on for years.
Yeah, it has, but I mean, it's consistent in what the cause of it is.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
no. Most of the causes are usually due to kids getting bullied for eternity and having that. So the gun-related deaths, what we have to even look into is gun-related deaths in children, because it doesn't stop at school shootings. It goes to suicide too, as well. Cat, oi, oi! Stop biting fucking cables, you little shit. Oh, hey, what are you doing?
But yes, as he was saying, it does go into suicides, which kids who are bullied do a lot of the times commit suicide.
Yes.
It's tragic. But yeah. Okay, slamming doors over there.
It's fine, everything's fine. I just locked her in my room. Ugh, she does it. Ugh, all the time. She's gonna break my shit. I'm gonna have to, disown her and throw her outside. Just goodbye, cat. Take her to an animal shelter and surrender her. She's a good cat. She's just a little shit. Enjoy. Anyway, Florida cop Scott Peterson getting monthly pension. Florida Sheriff's Deputy...
So we're just talking about one hero, now we're on to this guy.
Who failed to confront a gunman during a February 14th school massacre, is receiving a monthly state pension of $8,702. Woo! I mean, He earned it, though. That's his pension, so he earned it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The thing is, he probably wouldn't have retired and resigned in disgrace if he'd actually done his job and stepped up and confronted a gunman and saved lives.
I mean, yes and no. Sheriff's deputies. There's a difference in
No. This is that sheriff's deputy who was the school resource
officer.
officer.
That's right. I didn't realize that he was a resource officer. But he wasn't the only one. I thought there was a whole group of them. There was like 4 of them there.
Well, he was there on campus, and then later, like 2 or 3 more officers showed up, and then they didn't go in.
Yeah, exactly. They're all pussies, though.
Yeah, no, they're all despicable. This guy was already here. Like that story we just covered above of the man who confronted the gunman and saved lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this guy should have done. This guy is a disgrace to the uniform.
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far, but yeah. I mean, he definitely fucked up. Anyway, so yeah, the Sun Sentinel reports 55-year-old Scott Peterson, who resigned and retired after the shootings, began receiving payments in April. Broward Sheriff Scott Israel said Peterson should have gone inside. President Donald Trump called Peterson a coward. Peterson later said he thought the shots were coming from the outside the building. Pension payments are based on the 32 years he worked and the average of his 5 highest paid fiscal years. Shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz has been in jail since the shooting. He faced 17 charges of first-degree murder. Yeah, okay, hold on. How is he making $8.7 thousand? Was this man making 6 figures or something? Was he making?
I mean, he would have had to have been.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's the average. So you got to consider, out of 32 years and his top 5 highest-paid positions, the average of all that comes out to a 6-figure salary or pension.
That's weird. Does that mean? Does it mean that if it is his top 5 salaries? Does that mean like every year, whenever he gets a raise, it just takes the top 5? Because if he's been there for 32 years, it's his top 5. So
I think it may be like by job titles.
Maybe, but there's no way his job titles netted him that much. No way. Also, deputies I don't think make that much unless they.
But
make
it
that
says
much there.
it says the average of the 5. But I mean, if you only worked 1 or 2 positions, from like, lower tier kind of person in the restaurant to not deputy, and when you say deputy for 20 years, well, he's only worked 2 positions, so average it out.
Well, you take sheriff's deputy, but you have deputy isn't the sheriff's officer. The sheriff officer is like a voted-in position. The actual sheriff position.
Well, yes, the actual sheriff, and I know what the deputy is.
Yeah, the deputy is, I think, his appointed people or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't think deputies are. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my mom. That's really weird. I didn't know fucking sheriffs made a shit ton of money. Maybe it's just in Florida. I don't know.
Maybe that's why they prefer to shoot first, because they don't want to give up all the money they're making.
Dude, for real. I mean, if you're making fucking that much money a month, like now I'm not even making that much money a month.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of dosh. Oh, yep. It's beautiful amounts of money. I would just roll with it. Anyway, yeah, carry on.
So Bill Cosby, in the continuing coverage of the Cosby case, is to be sentenced on September 24th for the sexual assault conviction. Almost 5 months after he was convicted of sexual assault by a Pennsylvania jury, a judge announced on Tuesday. Cosby's convictions of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault are expected to be combined into 1 charge that carries a standard sentencing range of 5 to 10 years.
Oof. I mean, the man's old as shit. He's probably going to die in prison.
He's 81.
Yeah.
So this is essentially a life sentence for him.
Pretty much.
Oof. O'Neill, the judge in this case, ordered Cosby to be fitted with a GPS monitoring bracelet and said he needed permission to leave the home, where jurors concluded he drugged and molested Andrea Constand in January 24, 2004.
Yeah, I had to go there.
Anyways, even then, Cosby can only go out to visit his lawyers or the doctor. Before sentencing, Cosby must undergo an assessment to determine if he is a sexually violent predator, and because of his conviction, he will also be required to register as a sex offender.
I mean, not like that really matters too much. The man's, not only is he, is he a millionaire? I don't know, he's got a lot of money.
He's a multi-millionaire.
That's what I thought. But he's also, like, past the point of anything. Like, registering as a sex offender, I don't think really affects him too much.
So let's see. Apparently, he was once worth $400 million.
That I don't doubt. He is worth a lot of dosh.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of dosh, mate.
Anyways, back to it.
Snap back to
Yes.
reality.
But Constance's testimony and that of the 5 other accusers allowed prosecutors to uncloak Cosby as a manipulative predator who used his built-in trust to trick women into taking powerful intoxicants so he could violate them. I mean, it wasn't just Constance and the other 5. I mean, freaking 30-something women came out. I mean, Cosby's been in the entertainment business a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had many, many decades to sexually assault women. I mean, practically. I mean, he's done it so many times, practically had it down to a science. Shit. Anyways, in some good news. Hello?
What do you mean, hello?
Take it away.
What? Why am I taking it away? What am I taking away? What have I done here? Black man freed after 18 years in prison for murder he didn't do. We covered another story like this last year, I think. Anyway, Missouri man David Robinson has been freed from prison nearly 18 years, which is much better. I think the last one was in for 30 years than we covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is much better. It's still horrible, though.
Well, it gets worse as you continue on in the story.
Oh, after being wrongly convicted of a 2001 murder, they thought he was the terrorizer all along. 9/11 was him. Anyway, Robinson was released Monday night after Attorney General Josh Hawley, Howley, I don't know, recommended that charges against him be dismissed. There was barely any evidence to tie Robinson to the murder of Sheila Box, but there was no physical evidence, and only one eyewitness, a paid police informant, claimed he saw Robinson shoot Box at an intersection. The informant, Albert Baker.
Let's just cover that section. So, no physical evidence of anything whatsoever. One eyewitness who was a paid police informant, and that's how they convicted this foreman. That's all they had.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Anyway, carrying on. The informant, Albert Baker, later admitted he had given a false testimony in return for $2,500 in cash and expenses. Wow, $2,500 to commit perjury.
Yes, but he's probably paid off by either the DA or the police.
Yeah.
Do so.
But
this is the problem.
This is why I like the movie Law Abiding Citizen, right here. This right here. If you've never seen that movie, it's a Gerard Butler movie. It's fucking great. I recommend it. It's a good watch. It's what would happen if I were to go nth level insane on somebody and like have as much of a grudge as he does. I would literally end people's lives like that if I
but this
is
the problem with the justice system.
There is no justice in the justice system.
Yeah,
for some people.
Well,
for a lot of people,
it's not just necessarily the justice system, but it's more the district attorneys.
Yeah,
it's the problem there.
It's the local level, I think. Local.
No, not even local level. It's the problem with DAs, because DAs have a culture of wins. Doesn't matter if they're right or they're wrong, as long as they got the win, as long as they got the prosecution, because that's their record. You know, when a prosecutor goes out, he's not like, you know, I successfully convicted all these cases and these innocent people went free. No, he's like, I have a 99%, you know, conviction record.
Yep.
You know, I have a 97% conviction rate. You know, that's what they tell. They don't tell, yes, this innocent man was let go because the evidence didn't point to it. No, it's this person's going to jail. I don't care why. They're guilty. What evidence I have doesn't matter. They're guilty. That's the problem. Has to change.
I mean, some of the laws actually have to change too.
Well, yes, the laws have to change. The culture has to change. I mean, also, should we really trust paid police informants? I mean,
that just doesn't sound. Yeah, those are two words together that don't make anything correct.
Yeah, it's just like, should I believe this paid police informant when they're talking about this person? Well, the cops say I should believe him. I'm going to believe him. But it gets worse, folks, in this case.
Oh, so I have to send this headset off. Do I have the other old headset of this? I think I do. I No, remember, I think I had to send my other old headset off too. I just ripped out the battery and sent the headset off. I thought they sent me mine, like a new one first, and then I had to send the old one off.
I don't know.
This is backwards of the last one. They're like, your warranty kindly allows up to 24 to 48 hours. Once approved, you need to ship back the defective one so you can ship the new device. Do ship this. This is to check what happened to the device, avoid the same incident, and improve our products. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's the left side going out again. I'm not even, like, abusing these or throwing these on the fucking ground. They just have poor soldering on their contacts. Anyway, just because you highlighted him, stall further. Another man admitted to the killing in 2004, but Robinson remained in prison for an additional 14 years. Wow. So the dude came forward and said he had been paid off, and then somebody else was like, yo, I totally murdered that man. And he still... Did the other guy even go to jail? Is that in the story?
The other guy was in jail already.
Oh, on different charges? Or another murder charges? Wow.
Yeah, on different charges. So the guy was in jail already. He admitted to it. And then Robinson still remained in jail for the next 14 years.
He's like, yo, that's fucked up. That homie over there didn't do it.
So this entire case, which was built on nothing
but lies and slander.
Yeah.
Apparently in 2 days, Texas Renaissance tickets are going to go on sale.
Yes, they are.
Biggest sale of the year is Saturday, May 19th. Save more than $20 on.
Are we still going to buy that one cabin or whatever?
I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know how to get there from here. I only know how to get there from down there. Woo.
I mean, it should be easier because it's up north. So.
It's not that far. Dude, it's only like barely north of Sealy.
Let me see. Where the hell
it's
is
like
it?
between me and
Where am I?
Where am I? What am I? Hey, did you answer your Death Garden Close Alpha too, by the way? I'm just looking through my email.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I didn't. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead and do the next thing. I guess I'll fill out this alpha survey.
So I'm only 2 hours away from it, which means you're 4 hours away from it.
Am I 4?
Well, I don't know if you're 4, but if I'm 2, it means you're probably 4. And god damn it, my map is broken again.
Ha ha!
I know how to fix it, so I'm slightly less annoyed, but it's still freaking annoying.
That moment when it's like, Part A, a gamer profile. From this list, how many games have you owned? I've owned all of them. That's hilarious. And it played.
So, in interesting gambling news, the Supreme Court
yes, this thing.
agreed on Monday to allow New Jersey's bid for sports betting at its casinos and racetracks, effectively ending prohibition on a $100 billion industry and striking down restrictions on wagering outside of Nevada.
Yeah, so now all the sports betting is going to be legal, even though people did it anyway.
Yes, sports betting can be illegal. Or can be legal. Like, where gambling is still banned, this is still banned, but your state will have to put in new laws stating as such. But yes, the legalization of sports gambling requires an important policy choice. But the choice is not ours to make, the Supreme Court said in its decision. Congress can regulate sports gambling directly, but if it elects not to do so, each state is free to act on its own. The ruling could allow as many as 25 other states to seek similar allowances. The move in trying to get New Jersey into legalized sports betting started years ago by former Governor Chris Christie and other lawmakers, with the state passing a non-binding referendum to allow sports betting in 2011. Currently, Nevada is the only state to allow single-game wagering. Nevada, along with Louisiana, are the only two states that legally have casino-style gambling, which I did not know that. But anyways, PASPA, which is the act banning sports gambling, prohibits 46 states from authorizing sports betting. Nevada and 3 other states, Delaware, Oregon, and Montana, were exempt from the act, having been grandfathered in because they already adopted betting practices. So, it's a good day for the United States gambling. It's a good day for the world.
I'm filling out this survey. It's like, how did you like playing Hunter? Oh, I loved it because I could just take a big Stevie dump on people's chests. It's like, what features should be improved the most? Fucking need more balance within 2 playtypes, Hunters and Runner. I don't really have any other complaint other than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Let's see. Alrighty then. Diddle-boo. Senate investigation concludes Russia interfered in election to help Donald Trump, breaking with collusion of the House vote. Nice. A powerful Senate committee has concluded that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to benefit Donald Trump, breaking with the conclusion of a similar House probe. There is no doubt Russia undertook an unprecedented effort to interfere with our 2016 elections, said Senator Richard Burr, the Republican chairman of the State Intelligence Committee. Wow, the Republican guy said that. In a statement issued with Mark Warner, its most senior Democrat. The Russian effort was extensive, sophisticated, and ordered by President Putin himself for the purpose of helping Donald Trump and hurting Hillary Clinton. Well, I mean, that was kind of obvious, especially whenever they said the whole Facebook thing, the massive Facebook campaign. Like, that in itself is literally, it shows you exactly what it was. It was an effort to push Donald Trump and hurt Hillary Clinton the whole time. Like, that's...
Yes, no, absolutely it was.
There was nothing more obvious. Yeah, it was clearly
I mean, with the Russian trolls that we covered that stirred up anti-police black sentiment, or the Facebook advertising. Goddamn, all these fucking flies that appeared out of nowhere.
Nice.
I mean, Russia has been working hard.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, they're just fucking... Putin and Trump are just fucking beating each other off. Anyway, even though our countries are like semi, at odds.
Cold War.
But them two are buddy. I'm guessing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It doesn't make sense. I mean, they seem to be on really good terms with each other.
Well, also, I imagine Putin wanted Trump as president because he's a lot easier to manipulate.
I suppose it's true too. I don't know. Anyway, the Senate committee's findings suggested it had few doubts about Moscow's alleged intentions. After a thorough review, our staff concluded that the intelligence community assessment conclusions were accurate and on point, Mr. Warner said. The Russian effort was extensive, sophisticated, and ordered by President Putin himself for the purpose of helping Donald Trump and hurting Hillary Clinton. That's literally the same thing I said earlier. Okay. Anyway, The Senate committee has been investigating a Russian alleged interference plot for more than a year. It released its findings as Special Counsel Robert Mueller continues his own probe into the issue, along with alleged collusion by the Trump campaign. The senators met with former NSA Director Mike Rogers, former CIA Director John Brennan, and former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper earlier on Wednesday, the Hill reported. The committee had also invited former FBI Director James Comey to attend, though he ultimately declined. Yep.
Anyways, on to North Carolina, because as we continue to cover about teachers protesting, North Carolina has jumped on the bandwagon, joining 6 other states.
I wonder if Texas is ever going to do that. I know that they're not supposed to, but I mean, again...
Well, it's highly illegal. They can get their teacher certification taken away, and they can get their TRS taken away.
I mean, but I think they're going to do that for everyone, like you said, if everybody does a concerted effort. I think if everybody does an effort, then, like, the TRS and everybody, they can't do anything. Or they can do that all, and then, they just lose a bunch of teachers, and, a lot of bad things. Yeah, it's like
it's not going to matter to them, to the administrations.
No. Well, the other thing is, like, the Texan ideal is that, teachers are... I don't know. What is the Texan ideal? It's for the children.
Respected?
Are teachers respected?
Well...
I certainly don't respect teachers. I didn't respect them even when I worked for them. I don't respect anybody that doesn't treat me with respect either. That's how that works with me. If you don't show me, I show everybody a base level of respect as a human being. But once you decide to lower my level, your perception towards me, then I immediately lower my perception towards you, and that's just how it's gonna stay. I'm not gonna fight for your respect because that's not what I'm here to do. I believe everyone deserves, a minimum level of respect to be at least treated semi-equal, not anything else. And then everybody else treats you like shit. It's just like, you wonder why I treat you like shit. I come across like an asshole. Have you looked in the mirror, mate? Mm-hmm. I'm nice to buddy sitting over there.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's roll this video.
Yes, video rolling. And start.
Tonight, a sea of protesters conveying concerns from the classroom to the Capitol.
Hold on, it's a bunch of red shirts. They're all going to die.
They're all going to die?
Yeah.
28-year veteran teacher Robin Wall marching with a mission.
What do you think when you look out and see the sea of red?
What is up with this video loading like poop?
I see hope.
God damn, that was a tall ass lady behind that chick. I saw a fucking giraffe walking behind her.
Hopeful North Carolina educators will see change after a season of strikes. Their state, the 6th to have teachers walk off the job. Teachers now voicing concerns about low
I love how all the teachers are like
wages, rising insurance, a lack of funding for basic supplies.
I mean,
North Carolina has
wish the best for all these teachers.
more than 1,000 open teaching jobs, ranked 37th nationally for teacher pay, a pay scale capping salaries at $51,000 a year.
You can see that I have
that salary cap higher, yeah.
School supplies for graduation.
Mm-hmm. A new study shows on average teachers are spending $479 a year
I'm not
on
surprised they're
classroom
spending
needs.
so much on classrooms.
Recent college grads.
That's not that much in the grand scheme of things. Especially over a year. But that's money that, you know, like, so a large number of supplies should be provided by the schools. And then everything else.
They really should.
Everything else, you know, anything that's like special that you're buying, you know, for your thing or whatever, that's you. Because some teachers even at our schools do that.
Paper, pencils, pens.
Yeah, that's basic stuff that should be supplied by schools.
Yeah.
Especially since they get huge bulk discounts.
Kara Adcock knew she'd need help to stock a classroom.
But I'm hoping that with this march,
And I love the Republicans who are all like, this is disrupting
Still,
the
some
school
Republican
year. This is a
lawmakers
political
feel the
stunt.
one-day walkout is
And yet you're the
disrupting
head
the
of the
school
Republican
year,
Party coming
calling
out
it
saying
a partisan stunt.
That it is a
and
political
interrupting
rally for
fucking
political
school year.
But
It's the end of the damn
first-year
year.
teachers and
There's 2
veterans,
weeks left.
now
There's nothing
united,
happening.
say that's not the case.
I know
I
this.
want to see
You should know this
after
too.
me,
You're just being facetious.
get what they deserve. Have our students get what they deserve.
That's now up to lawmakers to decide. Katie Beck, NBC News, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah. So there. That was that. This is this. On to tech news. Man, we kind of blew through news. News was pretty short this week, wasn't it? News was pretty short this week, I said.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stories that come out every week, but you know, finding the diamonds in the rough is difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining because I'm going to pack all this shit up and go play video games after this.
Next week I'll endeavor to.
Nope. Fuck yourself.
Yep.
Nope.
That's what I'm gonna do.
No. Anyway, yeah, go do.
Anyways, moving on. This is freaking insane.
Dude, what's funny is that like Bobby at work, he's looking on Dallas Craigslist, and there's like so many fucking like 20 plus or like 18 plus graphics card mining rigs right now just on there for thousands of dollars. And I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of cards. That's a lot of mining.
And people are buying them.
I guess. I don't know. People made them in the first place.
Yeah. But yes, Bitcoins to use 0.5% of the world's electricity by the end of 2018. So Bitcoin, one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, currently uses as much power as Ireland does. As the nation of Ireland. That much power is consumed to mine Bitcoins.
Wow, Bitcoins are still worth fucking $8,000 right now. 7, 6, 5, 77, 100K almost. That's nasty.
The current estimates put the minimum current usage of the Bitcoin network at 2.5 gigawatts, which means it uses almost as much electricity as Ireland. A single transaction uses as much electricity as an average household in the Netherlands.
By the way, I just
uses in a month.
wanted to say something here. You know, I wish I had this job and plenty of money back in like 2016, 2017, and then invest in the stock market, because like I could have easily just with everything, the stock market from 2017 to 2018. Oh my God, everything made money. The depression. That Amazon stock, if I would have accepted that Amazon job, how much is Amazon stock? Yeah, I'm going to look it up in the background. But it's just like, damn.
By the end of the year, he predicts the network could be using as much as 7.7 gigawatts, which is as much as Austria, and 0.5% of the world's total consumption. DeVries believes the network could someday use as much as 5% of the world's electricity. Just imagine that. 5% of world's electrical resources being devoted to mine the stupid bitcoins, which they're going to be running out eventually. I mean, we've hit the key number that denotes the ever declining amount of bitcoin.
Dude, I could have made like $500 to $600 per stock, because they were 1,000 at the time, and I think I would have gotten 5 or something like that. I forgot what I told you I was going to get. Oh man. I just was like, cha-ching, cash out, sold.
Yep. But you're generating numbers the whole time, and the machines that you use for the electricity, but if you want to get a bigger slice of the pie, you need to increase your computing power, obviously, and there's big incentive for people to increase how much they're spending on electricity on the machines. As David just said, you know, in Dallas, there's people building mining rigs and selling them, and it's big business.
Yeah. Well, really, what's interesting is that you can build those super rigs and not use too much power if you're using, like, really efficient power units and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to be using quite a bit of power.
Well,
even with high efficiency.
I guess, man, because there's a point where you can get, you make too much efficiency. There's a point where it will make a return, but the returns on these things usually don't work, like, until a year and some change.
It's just not profitable to mine bitcoins.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
really
true.
Isn't.
I don't know. I need to pull up the Bitcoin calculator.
It's not profitable to mine nearly any of these cryptocurrencies.
Well, and wrong. It's profitable to mine the starting currencies, always. If they have a decent backing.
You're mining them and spending your electricity and time on the hope that they get big.
Well, you're not spending time. You really just kind of let it go, man.
You're spending electricity.
Yeah, but you're technically already doing that anyway. Depending on your electricity rates, too. You can find a place with low electricity rates, or you could just set up your own generator. It's efficient, however.
Maybe not 24/7.
I mean, you could.
Anyways. But it's figuring out when the incentive stops paying off that's at the heart of DeVries' estimation.
Yes.
Economic principles suggest that the entire Bitcoin network will eventually reach an equilibrium where the cost of the hardware and electricity used to mine equal the value of Bitcoin being mined, and I'm sure that's going to be coming up fairly soon.
Let's see.
With more and more resources being devoted to
I'm going to have to actually look up these rigs real quick to see what the power consumption is.
And with Ethereum being the highest traded coin in the world right now.
How does this gigahashes? It's interesting. I'm looking at how much you make per day. Man, if you're rocking 130 terahashes, which I don't even know if anything does that, you'd be making a lot. So yeah, 130 gigahashes makes nothing. Megahashes is negative 100% profit, but 130 gigahashes. This is the difference here. So 130 megahashes, which is mega.
Very little.
Yes. No, that's what even those rigs, those multi-rigs were saying that the hashing power is 130.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's a negative 100% profit ratio, but you go to 130 gigahashes, which is a shit ton more from Mega, and it's still a negative 98. This is specifically for Bitcoin, though.
Yeah, the profitability of Bitcoin is non-existent.
Yeah, that's also because Bitcoin's reached the difficulty level that it becomes not profitable. Bitcoin's difficulty level has increased to the point, it did that like a few years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, was basically the point where it wasn't profitable for any everyday person to mine. For a while there, last year, which is whenever all the graphics card increases went up, it was actually still profitable to make ultra ASIC mining rigs like people have, and that's what people are selling off now. Probably because it's unprofitable, I should say. Well, apparently Ethereum, wow, Ethereum fucking went up. Ethereum is definitely the next Bitcoin. Wasn't Ethereum really cheap last time we talked about it? It's fucking almost $700 almost. Per Ethereum. Ethereum at 20 mega hashes right now and a fucking power consumption of 440 watts. Supposedly this calculator is 137% profit per day. That's not bad. Huh. So Ethereum might be worth getting into. Anyway, that's with a 12% cost per kilowatt hour and a pull fee of 1%. I don't really have up-to-date numbers, but yeah. Sounds like
I think we're looking at the same chart, the My Crypto Buddy.
I'm using cryptocompare.com, but all the things. It's probably the same things.
Apparently Ethereum is still profitable for the moment. If you can hash...
what the fuck? Ethereum broke up into Ethereum and then Ethereum coin? Is that what that is?
Actually, how much of that thing that mines 135 hashes cost?
I don't know. How much does it cost in power consumption?
Well, no. How much does it cost to buy? You said there were those rigs.
It's a couple dozen. I don't know. I'd have to actually do it. Yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards. Like,
it's got 2,500.
Well, the one I saw that the dude was looking at was like, I think it was like 4,800.
4,800.
Yes.
Okay, profitability in never.
In never.
Like if it was $1,000, it'd take 7 months. 2,000, it'd never be profitable.
Let me see if I can find. Oh, bro, there's a 1070. Hold up, boy. If you're watching, fucking dude, bro, there's somebody selling a 1070 Ti superclocked that's a hybrid for $460 in Carrollton. My dog, you should hit that up. Okay, so here we go. 8 times NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 Ti mining rig for $4,000. Let me see what this has. A bunch of 1070s, and it's all running off a 1,000 watt 80 plus platinum, which again I said fucking you grab super high whatever. Running simple mining. You can be running for. It has been running for 2 months stable. What is it? This doesn't tell me its hash rate or anything. No. ASRock H110 Pro Bitcoin Plus. Wow, ASRock made a board specifically for Bitcoin mining? What? I didn't know that. Interesting. Now I need to go find the one that had the hash rate. Here we go. The 23 GPU mining rig farm. 1080 Ti tuned stable and ready to mine. This is the one that is showing. Man, so this is all different rigs. They're selling individual rigs, so they'll not come with the shelving rack. Prices are listed below. 7,600, 7,600, 7,000, and 4,800. 4,800 has 3 1070 Ti's and 4 1070s. Jeez.
And what's the hash rate?
Let's see. This thing does not say a hash rate either. There was one that showed a hash rate on the fucking monitor. I'll keep looking for a little bit. I know it exists in here. It's interesting though. Oof. Oh, here's a massive one. This is a huge rack tower.
Anyways, I guess I'll cover the next story.
Yeah, go for it.
But YouTube Music and YouTube Premium have announced as the YouTube Red replacement. So for folks out there who use YouTube Red or Google Music All Access, this is for you. Listen up. So Google is breaking up its premium YouTube Red service into 2 new offerings: a YouTube Red, a YouTube music streaming service, available either for free with ads or for $10 a month, and a YouTube Premium for original video content for $12 a month. YouTube Music is Google's direct competitor to Spotify, yet coming with a reimagined mobile app and a new desktop player, both of them designed specifically for music. The YouTube advantage, argues Google, is that it will combine all the official versions of songs with access to thousands of related playlists, remixes, covers, live versions, and of course, music videos. In terms of pricing, YouTube Music will be a direct match to all major music streaming platforms already available, costing $10 for the premium versions, which adds background listening, downloads, and an ad-free experience to the free option. Anyone who already has Google Music subscriptions gets YouTube Music as a part of that membership. So, it's a good thing to note. You will not lose your YouTube bread. You will not lose your YouTube Music. You do get grandfathered in. So if you're considering getting YouTube Music, or considering, getting a music subscription at all, and you like what Google has to offer, I would definitely recommend you get it now under the Google Music All Access, while it's still very affordable. Because you won't be able to get it past this, I think. Or at least you won't get all the benefits, I should say. But YouTube Premium is the new name for YouTube Red. And Google's doing something nice for the current Red subscribers, but not asking them to pay a higher price. In countries where Red is already available, you can secure the $10 pricing by signing up before YouTube Premium has rolled out, like I said. So that includes the United States, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, and South Korea. So, like I said, I use it, I love it, all the time. Very useful.
I use his and I like it. It's very useful.
Yes, he uses mine. Freeloader.
Yes, freeloader.
But yeah, no, it's definitely, I would recommend it for sure. And if you have family, get the family pack, because it's only like $3 or $4 additional. But you can add 6 people to your music. So hey, you got friends, give it to your friends. Make them charge you. Make them give you money for the service. Anyways, next story.
Alright, next story. I need to go ahead and text it. That was a really good deal. Fucking, I'm just kind of 1070 Ti all AIO for 460. Man. I need to let that boy know. Alrighty then. Senate votes to save net neutrality. Woo! Except for the House vote, which will pop up soon. The U.S. Senate voted on Wednesday to save net neutrality, marking only the second time Congress has taken a significant legislative stance on the continuous topic. The largest symbolic 52-47 vote in the Senate, championed by Democrats, pushed forward a resolution of disapproval under the Congressional Review Act that seeks to reverse a decision by the Federal Communications Commission to undo net neutrality rules put in place by the Obama administration. 3 Republican senators broke party lines to vote for the resolution. Thank you, those of you who did, which is Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and John Kennedy of Louisiana. Because wasn't John Kennedy one of the people campaigning for that anyway? I believe.
I'm not entirely sure.
Anyway, the resolution now faces an uphill battle in the House where Republicans have a strong majority, and even if it passes there, it will still require the support of President Donald Trump. The issue has split members along party lines, though some Republicans, including Senator Susan Collins of Maine, have voiced their support for net neutrality. Even if the resolution dies in the House and the repeal takes effect, net neutrality is still showing signs of life at the state level. A number of states have passed open internet protections, creating a patchwork of regulation in the U.S. that internet service providers will be forced to navigate or potentially challenge at a federal level, which they probably will. So there you go. Then I'll do you cover 2 stories, right? YouTube and the gigawatts, giga power. Alright, go.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah. Giga. Crazy. Anyway. So, a Japanese train departs 25 seconds early again. A Japanese rail company has apologized after a train left a station 25 seconds early. The second such case in months.
Oh no! Dear God. The Japanese trains, they're running too quickly.
Well, whenever you know down to the seconds, because they're Asians, they have that internal calculator. They know down to seconds. That's why they're so good at MOBAs and shit. They know when cooldowns are up to the fucking, probably the millisecond or nanosecond. They know when to push that button. They know the neuron knows when to fire to click that key. It's done. Anyway, yeah. So the operator said the great inconvenience we placed upon our customers was truly inexcusable. If the details are anything to go by, customers are faced with slipping standards. A train last November left 20 seconds early, while this time it was a full 25 seconds premature. Ah, yes, Asians, premature ejaculators. Heyo. According to Japan Today, the train conductor thought the train was scheduled to leave Nodagawa Station at 7:11 instead of the actual scheduled time of 7:12 on Friday. After closing the doors to the commuter train 1 minute early, he realized his mistake and still could have averted the looming embarrassment. But as he couldn't spot any waiting passengers on the platform, he decided to go ahead and leave early, rolling out of the station 25 seconds ahead of time. As was to be expected, social media has been making the most of the story.
Yeah, you gotta show these tweets. These are just great.
I'm clicking through them right now. Alright, so there we go. Let's do this fucking anime picture. First, start here. Love it! Only in Japan does a train company apologize unreservedly for an inexcusable lapse of service. The train left 25 seconds early. Hashtag love Japan. Same. I'm glad I like this because it's got nothing on it. Let's see. So, again, wow, this is supposed to be 9-gag. That's interesting. What a shame, Japan. Early departure for 25 seconds? What if I can only catch a train 4 seconds before departure? Well, I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. You just got the shit down to the seconds. Seconds, milliseconds. Headline: The West Japan Railway Company has apologized for train in central Japan departed the platform 25 seconds early. And I'm guessing with this dude's picture, he is somebody that does railroad stuff. Apparently it says Freight and Passenger Rail Advocate, Chairman, National Association of Railroad Passengers, President, Texas Rail Advocates. Wow.
And apparently a fiscal conservative for rail. He's in Dallas too, apparently.
I see that. My man! Apparently. Wonder if he rocks the dart. Anyway. That's enough of that.
Anyways, but I just saw that and I was like, that is a freaking hilarious story.
Yeah.
Need to play the story.
Oh, I didn't realize there was another thing here.
Yep, so we have our asshole of the day. A man explodes into a racist rant and threatens to call ICE in a New York City cafe. The video is just great. Also kind of loud, so you may want to turn it down.
Turn down for what? I'd have to get the video to play first.
Well,
and my guess is they're not documented. So my next call is to ICE to have some sort of a get out of my country. If they have the balls to come here and live off of my money.
Pause for dramatic effect.
What was it?
I pay for their welfare. I pay for their ability to be here.
The video pause for dramatic effect. Oh no, I accidentally restarted. Whatever.
They're not documented. So my next call is to ICE to have some sort of a get out of my country. If they have the balls to come here and live off of
I pay for their
I
welfare.
pay for their welfare. I pay for their ability to be here. Clients at your staff is speaking Spanish to customers when they should be speaking English.
Wow, this is such an overprivileged asshole.
Every person I listen to.
It's America, speak it English.
And my guess is they're not documented.
Yes, they're not documented.
If they have the balls to come here and live off of my money, I pay for their welfare. I pay for their ability to be here.
I love that girl. She's like, such an ignorance.
They should call me Nick.
Because the people like you are nations.
Honey, I'm calling ICE.
Call ICE. So that they can speak.
Maybe you shouldn't eat that sandwich today. Take a break from the food.
Break from the food. What an asshole.
Well, whatever. Good thing I don't care about racism. I find it
And that,
funny.
ladies and gentlemen, is our asshole of the day.
We don't have that. That's not a segment we have.
I'll make it one.
I mean, if you can make it, then go right ahead.
I mean, I've literally written it into the stories. So, yes.
I'll watch.
Anyways.
I'm gonna watch as he never does it again in the future. It's just like when he says he's going to play games after we get off the show. He never does.
Well, I will now, because it's barely 10.
I know, right?
But I mean, normally we end at 11 back when we did the stories. And show in person. This is a short episode, too. How long have we been going for?
I don't know. An hour and 20?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think.
It's an hour and 20.
So, in a world first, as far as we can tell.
I feel like I've seen a vape pen explode already before. But that was...
Yes. But this exploding vape pen kills a St. Petersburg man.
Mama just killed a man. Anyway.
Known death from a vape pen, I should say.
Yeah, but it wasn't the vaping that killed him, it was the device.
I said pen.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out there because people are retarded.
An exploding vape pen killed a 38-year-old man earlier this month in his home. The autopsy shows. The Pinellas County Medical Examiner confirmed the details on Tuesday, and firefighters had suspected it as the cause of death since first responders were dispatched to the home on a call about fire Saturday, May 5th. Talmadge,
Elia, I guess.
Delia was found on the floor's second home. Injuries to Delia's face indicated his cigarette exploded, burning 80% of his body, according to the medical examiner's report.
Wow.
2 portions of the device were recovered, with the cause of death stating as projectile wound to the head.
Ooh.
That thing exploded and freaking shrapnelled him to death. Exploding e-cigarettes and pens are extremely rare, and most explosions center around the battery, but they happen enough to cause concern among federal officials.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's mostly the batteries, because, well...
Now, what they do state is that this isn't your generic vaping device, is that this was a modified vaping device, and theoretically they're saying...
Realistically, what is the fucking standard? I've seen so many different kinds of vapes that will make your goddamn head spin. So, I don't think I can't even really say that there is a standard. Unless they're saying, like, that shit that they sell at Walmart that's made by the cigarette companies, they're called vape pens, which are literally like the little, like, cigarette ones or whatever. Unless they're calling that the standard. But as anybody that really vapes, that's not the fucking standard. The standard's like the big, the box that they hold like this and clouds. Even if they're not trying to do that, that's what I see as the standard. Something like 100 watts plus is what I see as the standard.
Mm-hmm.
So, or like 50, 75 to 100, I think is the standard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And finally, for the last story of the evening, a local story to David over there.
Yes, a Dallas man arrested for posing as high school student for basketball. A 25-year-old Dallas man was arrested last week after masquerading as a 17-year-old Hurricane Harvey refugee to play for a high school basketball team. Sydney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley Bouvier. Anyway, enrolled at Skyline High School under the name of Roshan Richardson, the newspaper reported, before transferring to Hillcrest High School, where he joined the basketball team. Gilstrap Portley was arrested Friday night on one charge of tampering with government records, according to multiple reports.
Yes, because under the federal law, is that if you're an evacuee from like a hurricane or something, they pretty much, the government assumes you don't have any documents to prove who you are. So they're like, yeah, document requirements, not so much, because it's understandable that your documents would most likely have been destroyed. So it's an honor system kind of thing.
So wait, all I have to do is be from like a hurricane-stricken area and say, I'm not David Shepard anymore? I can't prove that. But I'm somebody else?
Pretty much.
Shit, I wish I knew that before. I would have fucking changed my name, boy. Well, I don't know if I would have changed my name. I like my name, kind of. But I would have been like, David Shepard is dead. I am now somebody else. Ba-ba-ba!
Yep.
Anyway.
And that's really how he was able to do this, because he claimed it was from Houston and was in Dallas now.
Yeah. Anyway, Roshan Richardson attended Dallas high schools for nearly 9 months and was even voted District 11 5A Offensive MVP in March. His facade fell apart, however, when one of his former high school coaches informed the Hillcrest basketball coach that One of my former players who graduated a time ago is playing for you. Dallas Independent School District spokesperson Robin Harris told the Morning News. Gilstrap Portley's father, Sidney Portley, told Dallas's WFAA-TV that the 25-year-old has a child and live-in fiancé and chalked the scheme up to mischanneled determination. And it really...
Now, what did she think he was doing for, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day?
She had to know. Also, like, does this dude look like a kid or something? Because, 25 to 18 is... Pretty fucking big gap. I don't think I could pass for a high school.
If you click on the story, it'll show you. I believe it shows you a picture of him.
Did he say? He said he was a 17-year-old. That's even bigger gap. That's like fucking the baby gap. Let me see if there's a picture of this fool.
We might have to just Google his name.
No, I don't. I'm not seeing it. I see some weird bullshit. Post lottery NBA mock.
If you Google his name, it'll come up with it.
Does it actually?
Yeah.
Which name?
Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley.
Bouvier. Good stuff. Yeah, here we go. Dallas Morning News.
Yeah, that man, he looks 25.
This. I just want to point out this man right here.
Are you looking at that one shot where he's jumping to shoot the hoop?
No, I'm looking at his face. Oh, now I'm looking at Dallas News. We noticed you had an ad blocker. God, fuck off.
Oh yeah, Dallas News is really bad about that.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to it. Good. But there's this picture of him jumping right there. What else is there? CBS Sports. Wow.
Yeah, if you just go to the Google Images, you can see a bunch of them.
Oh, can I? Let me fucking use the Google as just the images. Boop, 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 boop. This picture. That one. That definitely looks like an older man. This right here. That's him again. That not so much.
He has tattoos.
That not so much. See, some of this picture he doesn't really look so much. Is this the one? Yeah, I suppose he could pass, except for the tattoos. Yeah, no. He's fucking tatted! But, dude, he kind of looks semi-young except for the tats. But then again, you can get tattoos if your parents aren't okay with it. Yeah, you can,
but I mean, in that picture right there, that man looks like he's 25.
In this picture, especially right here, he definitely looks like he's old. Especially this mugshot. Even this. But yeah, some of the other pictures, he looks a bit young. If this is some of his pictures, he passes for a young kid right here.
Are you talking about that one where it's just that one person alone on that basketball court in the white?
No, where it's him with a cat.
Oh, you're talking about that one there? Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know whether that's a picture of him then in high school.
I don't know, that's a good point. I have no idea.
Because that's probably a picture of him in high school.
Anyway, long story short, I don't care anymore. But that's it.
Anyway, that's the last story of the evening. So thank you, folks, for joining us for Table Talk Thursday, episode 58.
Yes, and catch us here next time on Thursday between 8 p.m. CST and 8:30 CST. Unless we go faster.
7:30 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. CST.
If everything gets done, maybe we'll do it earlier. But usually, again, like I told my coworkers,
it's usually starting
8 to 8:30 p.m. CST. Yeah. That's why it's 8 to 8:30. Yes. Anyway, so on top of that, I also run a talk show on Tuesdays with Heike, which is an anime-based talk show where we cover seasonal anime. We might be doing a switch-up. However, this next week is the guest talk show, which we do bi-weekly, and we have a guest lined up. He's from Bay City.
Wow,
his name is Brian. He runs his own talk show. I think it's just a podcast. He goes to conventions, those other nerdy things. He agreed to come on. So hopefully we'll see how that works out, and we'll see him here on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. CST. Time where the show actually starts on time, for the most part, except for the co-host sometimes is late or otherwise. But I'll try to start at 7:30 either way. Other than that, there's random shows that go on during the week where I play games sometimes, and other than that, that's about it. We'll see you guys on the
so have
next
a good one,
show.
ladies and gentlemen, and
have
good
a good
evening.
night, everyone.